And the Blue Jays continue their horrendous games, I guess, against the Tampa Bay Rays, getting walloped today 7-1. Marcus Stroman comes off the DL and clearly should not have come off the DL and clearly should not have played today as he gets crushed. He only goes an inning and 2/3, gives up 6 hits and 4 runs, strikes out 1, and he picks up his 9th loss on the year. Clearly, he was in some discomfort all game long, rubbing his pants, trying to rub up the baseball, trying to get some feeling. He did not feel good. He was not comfortable at all. And the question, guys, that a lot of people are wondering, and actually Gibby mentioned it after the game, should the Blue Jays possibly shut him down for the rest of the year? That's a very big question, and I understand why they're feeling that way. He has not, if he hits the DL again, I think that'll be his 4th time on the disabled list this year. There's no reason for bringing him back. You want him to come back healthy next year, and if you're the Blue Jays, you might offer a contract to Marcus Stroman instead of trying to hit arbitration this year, but then things might get a little fishy, and things might get a little weird. So it's going to be a very interesting situation for Stroman moving forward for the rest of this season and throughout the offseason, I guess the 2018-19 offseason for Stro. And do I think he should hit the DL stint again? I think, yeah, why not? He's clearly not right. I know he wants to make his numbers better and wants to make his stock higher so that he gets paid more in the offseason. But clearly you're not healthy, and your numbers are getting worse the more you play. And I love Stroman. He's one of my favorite Blue Jays right now. But I want him healthy. And I know you guys do too. So that's just my opinion on that situation. But the Jays' offense was nowhere to be found as well. 1 run on 4 hits, an RBI single from whom else? Teoscar Hernandez, guys. And he had a pretty good game. Well, he would go 1 for 3 in the ball game. And again, no strikeouts for Teoscar Hernandez. That is the 4th straight game without a strikeout. 11 straight at-bats without a strikeout for Teoscar. So, again, that's something we keep looking at moving forward. But, guys, Diaz went 1 for 3. Pilar 1 for 3. McKinney 1 for 4. And Hernandez 1 for 3. That's it for the offense. And then Stroman not even going 2 innings. Leaves to the bullpen, where you see Jose Fernandez come out and pitch 2 1/3, gives up 2 hits, 1 run, and strikes out 2 guys. He was not terrible, but he wasn't great. He did an all-right job in his relief for Marcus Stroman. Danny Barnes came out, gave up a hit, and walked a batter, and that's about it. I mean, didn't get an out, and gave up a run as well. Tim Meza came out, and guys, he continues to pitch very well for this team over the last little while. He goes 2 innings, doesn't give up a hit, doesn't walk a batter, and strikes out 1. Guerrero comes out and gives up a shot to Ji-Man Choi. A bullet for Choi. And he goes an inning, gives up a hit, obviously the home run, strikes out a guy, but that was it. Tyler Clippard comes out in an inning, gives up a hit, strikes out the side. Mark Leiter Jr., son of Mark Leiter, obviously, former pitcher, and Al Leiter, former Blue Jay. I think that's his uncle, actually, if I'm not mistaken. He goes an inning, doesn't give up a hit, doesn't walk a batter, and strikes out a guy. So his Blue Jay career has started off on a good note, if you want to look at it that way. But really, just a Blue Jays versus Rays type of game. The Jays can't do anything offensively. And these guys that you don't see much from, I mean, yeah, Kiermaier had a hit. Tommy Pham had a single. Malik Smith with an infield single. Danny Duffy, Kevin Kiermaier, Pham, and then Ji-Man Choi. So there are no obscure names, I guess, during this game for the Rays. Because that's what you expected to see, right? And you expected to see a bullpen game from the Rays, correct? No. Ryan Stanek started the ball game. Ryan Stanek, he threw an inning. Nothing happened during his inning. That's a good job. Now, the next pitcher came out, Yonny Chirinos, a bullpen guy. Went 7 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 run, walked 3, but struck out 5. He went 7 innings. And then Schultz came out in the 9th, walked the batter, but that was about it. So the Jays get crushed by one of their bullpen guys. They get no offense going. Stroman was terrible. And you suck. Game 2 of this series, guys, goes tomorrow night, 7:07 first pitch once again tomorrow. Again, we don't know who's going for them. But Sam Gaviglio is going for the Blue Jays, and I don't really know what to expect from Sammy. I don't know. His home starts are very good, statistically, and on the road he's terrible, so we're at home tomorrow. Maybe he'll throw a 7-inning no-hit game or something like that. And then the next game on the road, he can't get out of the second inning. That's kind of what we gotten used to from Sammy G. He hasn't been all that great, but he's kind of a fill-in guy for this team because we need someone with actual start. Put into perspective, guys. Sanchez has not thrown 100 innings. Stroman has just barely thrown over 100 innings. Sam Gaviglio has thrown 100 innings. That's how much and how hurt this team has been. Sam Gaviglio goes in Game 2 tomorrow, and then Ryan Bruckey versus Tyler Glasnow. That is the pitching matchup for the finale of the series on Wednesday night at 7:07 once again. Ryan Bruckey needs a bounce-back outing. He was terrible in his last start, guys. Went 4 2/3, gave 8 hits, 5 runs, and he was not good. He's been struggling. But you know what? As a young pitcher, you had a great few starts. We're like, oh, this guy's going to be an unbelievable guy. He has a few rough outings, and a lot of people look at him differently. He's young. Him and Sean Reid-Foley, guys, is he 24? Yeah. Bruckey's 24. Sean Reid-Foley is 23 years old. Let these guys work out their kinks. Let them learn a few things. Let them go about their business, and let them pitch. That's all we're asking. But first up tomorrow against... Humel, I don't know who we're facing tomorrow for the Tampa Bay Rays, but Sammy G's taking the mound as the Jays look to split the series against the Rays at the very least and get back in the win column and continue the win-loss pattern they've been on lately. And those are a lot of fun. We all remember those from the early, I guess in May and June. Those were a lot of fun. Not really, guys. Not at all. But you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys hated the game today. Smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below. What'd you think of today? What have you thought of Teoscar Hernandez, guys, over the last, 4 games or so? I want to hear what you guys have to say about him and his play as of late. Do you think he looks different at the plate? Does he look more comfortable, confident, more of a compact swing? I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. And this team as a whole, what do you think of Stroman? What do you think they should do with Marcus Stroman for the rest of this season and into next year? I want to hear what you guys have to say about all that. And Evan and I will talk to you guys on Wednesday, podcast edition. Link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes, guys. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow night as the Blue Jays look to, like I said, even up the series at 1 game apiece and get a good home start from Sam Gaviglio, because that's really all he has shown this season that he can do is pitch well at home. We're going to have to wait and see. 7:07 first pitch at Rogers Center. We'll talk to you guys then.